Hello everybody, my name is SchillzSkilllz and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing our typical version of Nerd Cave News, talking about four main topics today. Sony sued for $5.9 billion. Apple adding MacBooks to its right to repair. NASA is leaping forward in computing power for space. And YouTube launching a dedicated podcast tab. All of the things we're going to be talking about today in Nerd Cave News. I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready to enjoy the content, and I hope to see you here for the whole stream. And if you're not here for the live event, I stream every Sunday and Monday. And if you want to check that out, it's on this channel, so just subscribe, click notifications, and you'll know when I go live. Oh yeah, we're affiliated with Rogue Energy. Check out the affiliate link in the description down below. We'll talk about that more later at the end of the Nerd Cave News segment of today's stream. So let's start with the biggest topic of today. It's going to be PlayStation hit by a $5.9 billion lawsuit for ripping people off on digital games. The lawsuit's potential claimants include up to 9 million Sony customers. So this is the article from Kotaku. So a consumer rights advocacy group is suing Sony for charging a 30% commission fee on all digital purchases made through the UK PlayStation Store. This is functionally a class action lawsuit that seeks to distribute billions of dollars to players who have used the PlayStation UK Store since August 2016. Obviously this is a bad thing for those of you guys who do not know. Paying a 30% commission fee. Let's just do some quick math here, folks. 60, which is the average price of a PlayStation game, times 0.3 is $18. So you're paying $78 on the UK store for a game that everybody else is getting for 60. Obviously this is a terrible thing. Obviously, you don't want to be paying way more for a game that everybody else is getting for way cheaper. And this isn't like you missed a deal on a certain platform. This is like on PlayStation Store, on like your PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 4. Like, this is Sony being like, no, UK sucks, eat it. And so like, yeah, obviously it's a terrible thing. It is horrible that Sony is just like, you know what? How dare you? It apparently has a near monopoly on sales of digital games, particularly PlayStation games, so it shouldn't be using that power to enforce unreasonable prices on consumers. So this is consumer negligence. Or this is it like trust busting? I guess it would be like type of trust busting because they have a near monopoly on their like exclusive titles. So like just using that as like, you know? No, it's fine. The euro is worth less than the dollar now, so PlayStation can make up the difference. No, they're not making the difference. The difference is that they are like taking that conversion rate and then adding 30% more on top of that. So that's the problem. The euro is, I get the euro is worth less, so it's going to be more based on, well, but Sony is an international company, so they have to kind of keep it even across the board. This is still adding a 30% increase just for, and now this may be like tied to things like Brexit and stuff like that, and them not having a trade agreement with the EU anymore. We are bringing in Zarbamba Jones for the scoop on the PlayStation experience.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Continue. Give your piece.
I'm literally just memeing.
Okay.
Thing.
You're just sitting here like, dude, stop caring so much.
Once I saw that the euro was worth less than the dollar, I was like, finally, it is soccer now.
Well, I mean, yeah, but that's because they don't have the UK propping them up anymore.
Yep.
None of those other countries stand a goddamn chance without like Britain and Germany holding the force, because now you got Greece, who literally got bankrupt like 5 years ago. You want to talk about these topics with me?
We can. I didn't actually read the thing. I was like, UK's getting fucked.
I think that's pretty much kind of been their lifestyle for like the last year, because they're telling Apple to go fuck themselves. They're telling Google and Stadia to go fuck themselves. Like, the UK has just gotten in this trend since they left the EU to just tell everybody to fuck off. So I think this is just another way of them saying fuck off, because PlayStation was like, okay, you want to tell me to fuck off? Here's 30%. All right, let's do this Apple topic really quick. Apple adds select MacBooks to self-service repair offerings. This is just them expanding their self-service repair. 4 months after opening its self-service repair offerings to iPhone owners in the US, Apple adding a handful of MacBooks to the mix. When the laptop repair program opens tomorrow, it will include a 2020 MacBook M1 MacBook and the 13-inch MacBook Pro and the 14 and 16-inch 2021 MacBook Pros as well. So they added the iPhones earlier this year, and a lot of people have been having mixed reviews on it. So the big thing here is the fact that they're adding MacBooks, but they're not adding the MacBooks that are going to need like immediate service. Like, yeah, they're 2020 models, but a lot of the MacBooks that are going into service that a lot of people are going to AppleCare for are ones that are still Intel base. And so it's not great that they're not supporting a lot of their legacy products, but at the end of the day, it's Apple, and we kind of knew that was going to happen. It's good that they are adding MacBooks to their right to repair. We will see how much it costs from a like gathering parts and equipment standpoint, because the problem that we saw with the iPhones was the fact that it costs about the same amount of money to rent the equipment and get all of the parts necessary as going to an Apple store and having a genius do it themselves or tell you to go fuck off and buy a new iPhone. This is essentially just your way of making it so that you either get it repaired or you don't. It's just guaranteeing that you can get it repaired instead of having to buy a whole new iPhone every single time. Same kind of thing is probably going to happen here, where instead of them looking at you and saying, no, you're going to have to get a brand new MacBook, and then having to go through that whole process, guaranteeing you the ability, unfortunately it's an expensive ability, but an ability to fix it yourself. It's a step in the right direction. Is it going to be utilized properly? Probably not. As with the iPhone before, Apple will continue adding more models moving forward. This includes the M2 MacBooks being released later this year, and added systems like the iMac and Mac Studio Display. Okay, so this is generally a decent thing. Again, Apple isn't the greatest at right to repair, but them making an effort is going to change the industry and allow the industry to continue to, move that direction. Well, a lot of people in the tech space have like this mentality of, if I can fix it myself, I'm going to do that before I go and deal with customer service. Exactly. And so like a lot of PC heads are going to be like, yeah. And a lot of people who own Apple products, like if my wife were to have an Apple product break, she would buy a new one or she'd go get Apple. Like, we bought her Apple Watch and it's still covered under AppleCare. Yeah. It's one of those things that like AppleCare is just something that people buy and something people have to like mentally put into their repertoire of things that they buy from Apple. This is just a way for them to detach themselves from needing that. But a lot of people who rep Apple all the time are not going to see it at all. They're just gonna be like, no, fuck it, I'm buying a new one. Like, they're already mentally ingrained into this Apple process. Hopefully this becomes their standard moving forward. But again, asking people to be able to repair product is a big ask, especially for Apple users who tend to not do it. Yeah. Or not, it's like tech savvy. Like the one selling point that Apple has is like, you can set it and forget it. Like somebody like me who's constantly like Apple or Android 13 just pretty much bricked my Pixel for a day. So I had to learn how to fix that, and it was fine. Like, I got it there. It was one setting I had to turn off, but I had to figure out what setting it was. Same thing with my Windows PC. Like, I'm used to tinkering with stuff like this. People who own Apple products don't typically have to do that. And so it's going to be a learning curve, but I think in general it's going to be a good thing.
Do they still offer AppleCare, or is that just like, hey?
Oh no, yeah, no, they're still offering AppleCare and all that kind of stuff. I only bring that up is like, because people are so, when people go into an Apple store to buy a product, or they buy it on Amazon or they buy it on Apple Store, they just get AppleCare naturally because one, it's offered to them and advertised very well. And two, it's just something that they've done for the last 5 or 6 generations, and so they're going to do it. This is like a new player in the fray, so it's not going to be adopted as quickly, but it's an offering that will help change the industry. So it's a technical good thing, but will it see good real-world recycling results? Probably not in the next 2 years.
Well, then I would say more than likely, if they are still, because that was the only question I had, because if they're still keeping AppleCare, more than likely the people who have been getting it and aren't tech savvy are just like, I'm just going to keep getting it.
Well, and the big part that Apple has to fulfill at this point is if somebody decides to utilize their AppleCare and gives their phone back, being able to put the parts that still work within that iPhone into the recyclable market and into the parts market, so that they can bring the prices of their parts down, so they're not manufacturing as much. Because there is a huge manufacturing liability when you have to manufacture spare parts. That's what a lot of companies that promise right to repair have an issue with, is they have to spend time building spare parts that they won't initially sell, won't initially turn into liquid cash. And so the big thing about this is the people who are utilizing AppleCare should be able to just like have an option to recycle their products, so that they can put all the working parts into the parts infrastructure, so that prices for parts can come down for people who actually do want to do repairs. The big thing for right to repair is figuring out how well local shops are going to be able to handle this new influx of products that they can get, because like it can be written off as a business expense for a lot of these like local repair shops. It's just gaining trust from Apple users for these local repair shops so that people can go, because like there was a perfect company that fixed the screen on my phone back in the day, like 2 or 3 years ago now in Flagstaff, and they fixed my phone and it was great, and I had to wait for them to get a part from eBay, but like other than that, they put it in, they got it done, it was like $20 and I went on with my day. And now, to be fair, it was a repair that I tried to do myself and failed. Also, being able to have stores that aren't Apple focused to get access to those parts at a cheaper price so that they can have their prices cheaper as well. Competition is always a good thing. All right, moving on to NASA. NASA is planning a huge computing upgrade for its next space mission. NASA has selected microchip technology to develop a high-performance spaceflight computing processor. It says will provide at least 100 times the computational capacity of current spaceflight computers. NASA's spaceflight computing may be in dire need of an upgrade as current systems were developed almost 30 years ago, according to NASA's principal technologist. This is obviously a good thing for NASA, refunding their infrastructure to, you know, make it so that they can compute better things. Because like even the James Webb Space Telescope, the SSD on the thing is like 16 gigabytes, if I remember correctly. It has to literally like connect to NASA's servers and dump 16 gigs every single time it takes a photo, because these telescopes are like massive and they collect a lot of data. So like one photo is like 6 gigs. So they get like 2 photos off and they got to upload into the server. So upgrading all of this infrastructure, being able to process data better, and then obviously hopefully being able to have facilities to make better stuff is going to be good. This looks to be more focused on like flight patterns and exactly how they want to compute all their flight data for astronauts and for rockets going up into space, whether they're landing on Mars or going to explore different parts of the galaxy. So this is generally a good thing. Obviously, science advancing is always going to be something I'm down for, especially when it comes to a federally funded agency like NASA to continue to put us not necessarily ahead in the space race. I'm not trying to beat Rush or anything like that, because like at this point we're a global community. Being able to do anything is a win for humanity. That's the way that I view it, which is the problem, because everybody should see it that way and they don't.
No, I would love for us to be a planet. That'd be great.
A planet working together would be neat. But yeah, obviously being able to fly faster in space and crunch data faster for flight patterns and stuff like that is a good thing. So yay us. All right, and then we'll blow past this really quick topic of YouTube launches a dedicated podcasting homepage for U.S. users. Earlier this year, reports emerged that YouTube would soon add a dedicated podcasting homepage, a signal the company was getting more serious about its investments in podcasts and the potential ad revenue they could deliver. Today, YouTube confirmed to TechCrunch that new podcast destinations are now live for U.S. users after the URL was discovered to be live ahead of any formal announcement. According to a report by 9to5 Google, the dedicated podcast page, youtube.com/podcasts, went live last month and is now linked, at least for some users, on YouTube's existing Explore page, alongside other top destinations like gaming, sports, fashion, and learning, and others. Obviously, this is a good thing. Anytime YouTube is getting on the bandwagon for specific types of content is good for those content creators. Obviously, this isn't going to hurt a lot of new creators. We saw Shorts revenue and Shorts views being huge as well. So a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, this is bad for short form content now, or medium format content. Incorrect. This is just them creating more support for discoverability of podcasts to help increase ad revenue for longer form content, which is a good thing because we've seen them, support shorts. Now they can support longer form content better and have better discoverability for that as well. Overall, good thing in my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see any downside to just adding in another category that allows people to show off, like, hey, we're doing just a top. Because my assumption is they'll have it set to, like, you can only listen to this because it's a podcast kind of thing. But, I mean, they have that option. The one thing I will say that I really liked about Twitch's app, and this is with a grain of salt because Twitch's app really does suck. But they had a feature that allows you to go audio only on a stream. And YouTube, to my knowledge, does not have that. It used to have that. You can obviously play audio in the background, like you don't need to have to be looking at the player. Being able to just make it so that you're not pulling as much data out of the internet. And like for someone who uses mobile data a lot, I hit my mobile data cap a lot just because I can't be bothered to
connect to Wi-Fi, and that's kind of on me. Being able to have certain things that are built for podcasts, like being able to listen just to audio, would be a good feature to add as well. But this is more just like discovery outreach for them, to make sure that YouTube is showcasing as many content styles as possible. How's everybody feeling about a Nerd Cave News where we had a guest? We'd like that. Let me know in the comments. But that being said, thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to continue to see Nerd Cave News in its full edited form on the channel, or want to join in on the live aspect of Nerd Cave News, or just hang around for some general gaming nonsense. Let me know in the comment section down below how you feel about any of the topics that we talked about today. And quick, ad read, woo, woo, woo. Rogue Energy, there's a discount link and an affiliate code down below if you guys want to have a better, less gritty energy drink, or just a general gaming fuel than, say, competitors like G Fuel. Check out Rogue Energy. You get 10% off with my code SKILLZ. Don't forget to join the community Discord down below if you want to continue to have the conversation outside of YouTube's comment section, and join the community of fans that we have developed over there to continue to have conversations. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.